Hey folks, I hope that you guys are doing pretty well. So today is Saturday, the 4th of May 2024, and this video is going to be my 62nd World First Biblical Deciphering. And hang about folks, because after that I will be doing my 63rd World First, and it's going to be on Psalm 148, which is interesting. And also Psalm 150. I already done 149 a while back. So, but anyway, we might go through it real quick anyway. But yeah, today I wanted to decipher for you chapter 16 in the book of Jeremiah. Okay, to have a program here. So we're going to be going through the prophecies now. I must say, folks, that initially I wasn't going to do the whole chapter of Jeremiah. It wasn't my concern. Mainly because half of it, or just a little bit more than half, is actually under the law. But I actually wanted to talk about prophecies 14 to 17, if you like, okay? Because these prophecies are under the church age. Think of Israel becoming a nation in 1948. And verse 17, where it says, "For my eyes are upon Israel," if you like, is actually, or always, if you like, it's actually a multi-dispensational verse that belongs under the law, the church, the tribulation, and the millennial kingdom. And that's because, God is always going to have his eyes upon Israel, if you like, okay? But anyway, we'll get back to those in a moment. But on me, so yeah, initially I just wanted to decipher 14 to 17 because I want to talk about a cluster of Bible prophecies that actually concern me a lot. Especially regarding Revelation 12, verses 14 to 17, having the second half of the tribulation period, the Jewish people will have to flee, and God is going to supernaturally protect them in the wilderness. Now, I don't exactly know where in the wilderness. Most Bible scholars mention Petra, but I don't know how accurate that is, so I don't really know. But all I can say regarding this is that when Moses and Elijah turned up in Israel during the first 3 years of the tribulation period, then it's up to the Jewish authorities to speak to Moses and Elijah as to where they can hide in the wilderness. Where can the Jewish people hide in the wilderness in the second half of the tribulation period? Okay, because we know that also the devil is going to be very angry. But anyway, we'll talk a little bit more about later down the track. And of course, we know that in Ezequiel 38, 39, when God defeats this great northern army, is going to be a revival. So more Jewish people, I believe, will do Aliyah, or they will immigrate to Israel, if you like. So it's going to be a lot more people. But we also know as well that Zechariah talks about that 2/3 will be cut off and only 1/3 will survive. So it's quite interesting. But anyway, folks, I'm declaring the end from the beginning. So let us start from the beginning now, okay? All right, folks. So then verses 1, if you like, in chapter 16, all right, there are 21 verses. From 1 to 13, okay, almost just a little bit over half, if you like, these are all actually under the law. Okay, so they have been fulfilled. Basically, Judah is falling apart, okay, or the southern kingdom. They are worshipping false gods. We'll see verse 11 in a moment. And they're going to be coming into God's judgment, and so they are being warned. Okay, so if we look at verse 11, okay, just bear with me for a sec, folks, while the cell phone focuses. Then shalt thou say unto them, because your fathers have forsaken me, said the Lord, and have walked after other false gods, and have served them, and have worshipped them, and have forsaken me, and have not kept my law. So this is a warning from God, that the southern tribe of Judah, is going to go into captivity. Basically, they're falling apart, worshiping false gods. Okay, so basically the first half, just a little bit over from 1 to 13. Then these are under the law. Okay, now importantly, I actually wanted to do this video to talk about these end time Bible prophecies, verses 14 to 17. Then church age prophecies, but verse 17 is actually a multi-dispensational prophecy, if you like, which applies to the law, the church age, the trib, and the millennial kingdom. Okay, so let us look at verses 14. Okay, therefore, behold, the days come, said the Lord, that it shall no more be said, the Lord liveth, and brought up the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt. Okay, so this is going to happen in the church age, where people are going to be talking about the Jewish people coming back from the four quarters of the world back into Israel, if you like. Okay, but the Lord liveth, they brought up the children of Israel from the land of the north, and from all the lands whither he had driven them, and I will bring them again into the land that I gave unto their fathers. So, of course, then think of Israel becoming a nation in 1948. Okay, and also this ties to Ezequiel chapter 37, verse 21, and many others. Okay, we'll have a look at Ezequiel in a moment. Behold, I will send for many fishers, said the Lord, and they shall fish them. And after I will send for many hunters, and they shall hunt them from every mountain and from every hill and out of the holes of the rocks. Okay, so yeah, basically, Israel for a long time, they do have a plan called Aliyah. They're getting Jewish people to immigrate to Israel, and also they're sending rabbis searching for lost tribes and things like that. So Israel has an excellent program in actually fishing and hunting for the Jewish people to come back to Israel to immigrate. Okay, verse 17 is actually an interesting one. For my eyes are upon all their ways. So God has a covenant with the nation of Israel. And so this is a multi-dispensational verse, because you need to think that God is always going to have his eyes on Israel. Okay, always. God is always going to be checking their ways. Okay, they are not hid from my face. No, Israel cannot hide from God's face. Neither is their iniquity hid from my eyes. Okay, so even the sins that Israel does, they're not going to hide it from God. Okay, so basically verse 17 then is actually a multi-dispensational verse, if you like, that applies to, of course, the law, the church age, the tribulation period, and the millennial kingdom. God is always going to keep an eye out on the children of Israel, if you like, and also he's going to keep an eye out on the sins. Okay, so this is also multi-dispensational. So, and of course, I told you that these verses from 14 to 17, which are church age, think of Israel becoming a nation in 1948, that's into Ezekiel 37:21 and others, but Ezekiel 37 verse 21 is actually a classic one. So let us go to Ezekiel. I've got a page marker here, folks, so bear with me. So if you go to Ezekiel 37 verse 21, okay, and say unto them, thus said the Lord God, behold, I will take the children of Israel from among the heathen, or the nations, if you like, whether they be gone, and will gather them on every side and bring them into their own land. Okay, and of course, and I will make them one nation, and so on. So yeah, these verses then 14 to 17, think of Israel becoming a nation during the church age, tie now to Ezekiel 37:21, which is a classic one, and then you can follow on to 22. Now, verse 18 then goes back to the law, okay, and I will recompense their iniquity. In other words, the judgment on Judah, okay. So, verse 18, let me go back to Jeremiah, okay. So, verse 18 then goes back to the law, and first, okay. So, before this, in other words, before verses 14 to 17, before I make them a nation, okay, like God did in 1948, He lined up everything for them, okay, by using people, okay. Then verse 18 is for the law. It goes back to the judgment, if you like, Judah. And first I will recompense their iniquity, okay. But before all this happens, before Israel becomes a nation in 1948, He's going to make sure that Judah, is punished, if you like, okay. I will I will recompense their iniquity, and double their sin, if you like, because they have defiled my land, and they have filled my inheritance with carcasses of their detestable and abominable things. Of course, Israel, worshiping false gods, okay. And then verses 19 and 20, okay, 19 and 20 only. These are law and church. These are law plus church age plus tribulation prophecies. Okay, so all my problem here, verses 19 and 20 only are law, church age plus tribulation. Yeah, we have to think, folks, that we'll go back to the Bible in a moment, that these days, and also under the law and during the trib, you have many nations. For example, like in India, the Hindus, in Asia, what you call Buddhism and Confucianism. These are doctrines of the devil, okay? And, these people are, following false gods, or these are the false gods, if you like, of the nations, okay? This is what happened to Israel during the captivity, where they were following, false gods, if you like, okay? So let us read verses 19 and 20. Okay, and it says here, O Lord, my strength and my fortress and my refuge in the day of affliction, the Gentiles shall come unto thee from the ends of the earth, and shall say, surely our fathers have inherited lies, vanity and things wherein there is no profit. Okay, so the Gentiles, okay, those that afflicted Israel under the law, okay, think of the Babylonians, the Assyrians and the Babylonians, if you like, because Israel went into captivity, they think to themselves, hey, surely, Israel's fathers have inherited lies and vanity, of course, the heathen or the Gentiles, don't believe in the God of Israel, okay? And it says in verse 20, shall a man make gods unto himself, and they are no gods? Okay, so this is what man has made, not only during the age of the law, okay, how Israel was, following false gods amongst the heathen as well, but this is also happening today as well. I already told you that today, for example, in India, the Hindus following false gods. In Asia, you got Buddhism and Confucianism. They are definitely confused, following doctrines of the devil, Yeah, and also in the tribulation period, okay, this is going to happen as well. You're going to have, people from India, with the Hindu religion, people in Asia, China, and other places, followers of Buddhism and Confucian. So, we see people, following false gods, if you like, during the dispensation of the law, the church age, and the trib. It's not going to happen during the millennial, because Jesus, of course, is going to make the judgment at the end of the tribulation period, and then it will be game over. That's why on verse 21, okay, where it says, I will this once, my hand and my might. Okay, so people can follow false gods if you like, all the like during the law, the church, age, and the tree, but on verse 21, when Jesus comes back for the millennial kingdom, come judgment day in the millennial, all nations will finally know that there is only one God, and that is the God of Israel. Okay, so let us read then verse 21. Therefore, behold, I will this once. Okay, so Jesus is gonna do a once only big judgment at the beginning of the millennial kingdom. Okay, and cause them to know. Okay, when he makes a judgment in the valley of Jehoshaphat, they will know that when he makes a judgment, those will go into hell. Okay, I will cause them to know my hand and my might, and they shall know that my name is the Lord. Okay, so he's gonna do this once big punishment at the beginning of the millennial kingdom in the valley of Jehoshaphat, and then they will know that there is only one God. Okay. Now then, I wanted to do this video like I said at the beginning of the video, for the sake of verses 14 to 17, which are church age prophecies, and it's interesting, because God is gathering, supernaturally is getting people, of course, to come and immigrate to Israel, and also it's going to be a revival. I strongly believe at the end of the Civil War of 38, 39, because when Jewish people that live outside of Israel see how the God of Israel has defeated this coalition that's coming for Ezequiel 38, 39, then more people will be coming into Israel. And unfortunately, let's go to Revelation, which I want to show you something. Revelation 12, okay? Revelation 12, verses 14 to 17, okay? Once Moses and Elijah are raptured, of course they die first, so they will kill them, but then they get raptured back into heaven. Then Israel is going to have to flee, which is the woman. They're going to have to flee into the wilderness. Now, many Bible scholars say that Israel is going to flee into Petra. Like I said on the video, I don't know how accurate that is. There is no information in the Bible that says it's going to be Petra. All it says is the wilderness. Okay, this could be the wilderness in Israel, not in Jordan. So, but where can they go? I have some ideas, but I'm not going to say them here. But I think that Israel, the authorities, they should speak to Moses and Elijah. During the first half of the tribulation period, and ask them, as much as prophets, where can they go and hide in the wilderness, or even ask them to pray unto God if they don't have the answer, as to where they can go. Now, what's going to happen is wherever they go, wherever their hiding place is, the serpent, okay, is going to try and flood them, okay? He's going to cast out of his mouth water, so he's going to try and flood them wherever their hiding place is. But God is going to help, Israel supernaturally, or the woman, if you like, and he's going to make sure that the earth opens or swallows, if you like, that flood, okay? That the dragon or the devil is going to be given, the people in Israel when they're hiding in the wilderness. But then, interestingly, it says here, and the dragon was wroth with the woman. So he was very upset. The dragon is going to get very upset with Israel that his plan to basically flood them or drown them is going to fail. Okay, and so he's really angry, and he's going to make war with a remnant of her seed. So basically, because the dragon is going to fail with his flood, okay, afterwards he's going to get very angry, and then he's going to make war or chase up after the remnant that's elsewhere, not hiding in this special spot in the wilderness, but elsewhere, because he says here he's going to make war with the remnant because he's really angry that he failed to drown or flood Israel. So Israel, I'm pretty sure they have, I'm pretty sure they've seen this prophecy, and I'm pretty sure that they probably have plans as to how they can solve this. It's going to be difficult, but if you think about the Jewish people that are going to be living outside of Israel, then they also need hiding places as well, because the dragon is going to make war with this remnant that's outside of the wilderness, this protection place. He's going to be really angry because he wasn't able to flood them, or the woman, if you like, or Israel. So yeah, this is something that Israel will have to think. I'm not an expert on security issues or anything like that, but all I can go on is what I read here. That the dragon is going to be angry that he couldn't drown Israel, and then he's going to make war with the remnant, away from those that are already safe in the wilderness in a special spot somewhere. So it's going to be quite interesting. Now, the issue is also that Zechariah in chapter 13, verse 8 tells us that only the 2/3 will be cut off, or will perish in the land. So that means in Israel, and only 1/3 will survive. So let's go to Zechariah, folks. I've got a page marker here. Okay, so if you go to Zechariah chapter 13, verse 8, okay, and it shall come to pass that in all the land, okay, so in all of Israel, says the Lord. He's not talking about Jewish people that are outside of Israel. He's talking about in all the land. So he's talking about Israel only. The 2/3, if you like, are going to be cut off, or will die, if you like it says here, but only 1/3 will be left therein, okay? And that third part, he will put through fire. He's going to refine them as silver is refined, and will try them as gold is tried. And they shall call on my name, and I will hear them. I will say, it is my people, and I shall say, the Lord is my God. Okay, so of course this is going to happen, when Jesus enters, if you like, through the golden gate. If you read Ezequiel chapter 44, verse 3, they shall call on my name and I will hear them, okay? Now the thing is that before this happens, Jesus needs to come with us with the signs to make judgment. And then after the judgment, he will enter, by the golden gate, if you like, according to Ezekiel chapter 44, verse 3, because he needs to make the judgment in order to come in triumphantly and victorious, okay? So that, the people are going to call on his name, okay? On Jesus' name. He's going to hear them. He's going to come in by the golden gate, if you like, and be the Lord. Once he enters the golden gate, basically, he's going to be the Lord, the God of Israel, and the King of Israel. So once the judgment is done, then he will enter triumphantly by the golden gate, and then he's ready to sit on his throne, if you like, and rule. Okay, so but it's a little bit sad, folks. The situation during the second half of the tribulation, 2/3, that's quite a lot. Now, I'm led to believe that at the moment there's 10 million people living in Israel. 8 million, as a rough estimate, are Jewish people, and 2 million are Arabs and other minorities. But after the Secret War of 38 and 39, then I believe there's going to be a revival and that more Jewish people will come. So those numbers and those figures will change. To what extent, I don't know. But Um, let's just say that there might be 10 million people after Ezekiel 38, 39. And of course, more Jewish people coming in during the first half of the tribulation period when Moses and Elijah are there. Because, if you read the prophecies in Isaiah chapter 2 and also in Micah chapter 4, in other words, the third temple prophecies, people are going to come to the third temple. And of course, many nations as well. So, what the real numbers will be with regards to, the Jewish population in the future, I'm not sure. But when I read this, it's a little bit sad, but my message today is for Jewish people to believe on Jesus, especially the gospel found in 1 Corinthians chapter 15, verses 1 to 4. Here Jesus died on the cross and he was buried and rose again on the third day according to the scriptures. So, it's very interesting, folks, all right then, folks. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you guys later. And then I'm going to be doing Psalm 148 and 154 you next. All right, folks.